Our next artwork by Turner is titled Snowstorm, Hannibal and His Army Crossing the Alps. Now, Hannibal and this event that we're seeing here took place way back in the ancient world, specifically when the Roman Republic, so before Rome was an empire, it was a republic. The Roman Republic was at war with their neighbors in the south, the Carthaginians. Carthage was a great, powerful empire on the northern coast of Africa. And they had fought for years and years and multiple wars for control over the Mediterranean Sea. Again, if you want more information, this is not a history class. You got to take Western Civ. But Hannibal was a general and a statesman for the Carthaginians. So he's not a Roman. And let me just help you with a map here. Here we go. This map is showing you the extent of the Roman Republic at the time and the extent of the Carthage Empire. Now, Carthage and Italy, or I should say, sorry, Rome, were fighting for control over the Mediterranean. And this battle, these wars have been going on and on and on. Hannibal had the brilliant idea to take his troops along the Iberian Peninsula, up and around, and attack Rome from the north. In order to do this, they had to cross the treacherous Alps, those insane mountains that are between France and Italy. And he did. And he brought not only his troops, but he brought elephants, like literal elephants from Africa. I know, right? So that is the event we're seeing here. We're seeing when Hannibal crossed the Alps with his troops. Now, spoiler alert, he fails in this attempt. He did scare the crap out of the Romans, and they were not expecting it because they were used to fighting by looking south, and then all of a sudden, he's coming from the north, so they were not prepared. But by a miracle, and the Romans saw this as a sign from the gods, but by a miracle, a giant snowstorm almost completely destroyed Hannibal's army, weakening his forces, and therefore the Romans were able to take advantage and then defeat Hannibal and then defeat Carthage, to the point where they wiped Carthage off the map. I really enjoy talking about ancient Roman history, and this is a horrific moment in the long line of horrific moments of Roman history. If you want to know more about it, email me. I have a few good books I can recommend. But basically, Rome wiped out Carthage in terms of art and culture and language, and we're still scrambling to find the pieces of Carthage. Back to Turner. Why is he giving us the snowstorm of Hannibal crossing his Alps? Good question. Let's look at some of the details first before I answer that. So here we are, and we see the snowstorm rising up over the treacherous Alps. And we see it's such a thick storm that it's blotting out the sun. We see a pass in the Alps, and we see the Carthaginian soldiers as they walk through this path, but in their wake, we stand, or I should say, we stand in their wake. They are the soldiers as they pass through in the Alps. We are standing here in their wake with their victims. We are the innocent villagers who have been slaughtered by this invading army. Now, where's Hannibal? You see him? I mean, he's like the most important character, so where is he? He's right here. What? Yeah, Hannibal crossed the Alps on an elephant. Sorry for that pixelation. Let me go to this one here. Hannibal crossed the Alps on an elephant. Ugh, it's not a very good image, but you get it right there. That's Hannibal on his elephant. And he's way off in the distance. Why do you think Turner's painting this scene from ancient history? And why is he putting Hannibal, the lead character of this fantastic moment of military genius, way over there? Okay, let me ask you another question. Looking back at your notes from last week in neoclassicism, who else crossed the Alps and had a painting by Jacques-Louis David to commemorate it? Yes. You said Napoleon. You are correct. This painting by Jacques-Louis David was about Napoleon's victory of crossing the Alps. And Bonaparte, he's the one that made the call back to Hannibal. He's like, yeah, I'm Bonaparte, and I'm just as awesome as Hannibal, and I'm just as awesome as Charlemagne. Okay, all right. So why is an English artist, Turner is from England, why is an English artist painting this? Look at the date, 1812. Napoleon has established his empire, and he is spreading his territory through violent and scary, horrific means. On his list to conquer is England. So what is Turner saying about Napoleon, who is alive and emperor of France at this time? That's right. Saying, you think you're so good? You want to be like Hannibal? Hannibal died. Hannibal was destroyed. You ain't gonna do this. You're not gonna succeed, little boy. Little man. No, not today. You want to compare yourself to Hannibal? You cross the Alps? Good for you. And now you're going to be destroyed because England's going to destroy you. Whoa, right? This is a painting about Napoleon. The English were very afraid of Napoleon's victories, and they did not want him to invade. And so here, Turner is speaking to those fears, but also minimizing the enemy by pulling back, putting the enemy far away, by showing that oncoming storm that destroyed Hannibal's army, and this hope for a miracle that Napoleon will also be destroyed. Ah, cool, right? I love Turner. I think his stuff is so good. There was a film that came out in 2014, I think, called Mr. Turner. And it's about Turner during his later years. But it's really good. I encourage you to watch it. Also, because I can't resist, I want to show you another one of my favorite paintings by Turner. This is it. This is one of my favorites. This is called The Fighting Temeraire. Or if you want to say it with the English accent, this is Turner's Fighting Temeraire. And it is a beautiful painting of the massive warship, a real warship called the Temeraire. And here it is being pulled into dry dock to be disassembled for parts. What? Why? It's such a beautiful painting. Why are you saying that this is being destroyed? The Fighting Temeraire is an old, worn out, old technology, not useful anymore warship. You can see it's got the sails, it's heavy, it's bulky. The technology has advanced and it's outdated. It's unnecessary. And so here we see new technology. What is it? A coal-burning tugboat. It's a steam engine that burns coal on this tugboat. And that is new technology. and it's towing the beautiful Temeraire into dock. We look at the painting itself, though, and we understand that Turner likes to use color. How does Turner want us to feel about this scene? We see the water, we see this gorgeous golden sun, blue. It's a beautiful scene. Let's compare the two boats. One looks tall and majestic and graceful, and that tugboat, ugh, doesn't look very cute, does it? This little squat, kind of bug-eyed frog look to it. While the sail ship has these beautiful tall masts, the tugboat just has this giant chimney that's belching out this black soot. We can almost hear the engine just kind of belching, right? Kind of like what we see is out with the old and in with the new. You're an old man, ship. Nah, we don't need you anymore. We got this new young tugboat here. It's gonna get you over there. I'm not saying that tugboats were warships. No. I'm saying it represents new technology. A sunset. Or is it a sunrise? It's probably a sunset. If we see this as a sunrise, that would be a beginning of a new day. Is it a sunrise? And then what kind of a day is it? Are we happy about the loss of this beautiful, graceful ship? If it's a sunset, just as the day ends, so too is the glory of this beautiful ship. It's pretty push and pull. But we can see what Turner prefers, doesn't he? I like to show this because it's one of my favorites, but also because it's featured in one of my favorite movie series. Not movie series, movie franchises. Which one? James Bond. I really like the James Bond series. If you want to talk to me about James Bond series, Back to the Future series, Indiana Jones series, I'm totally on board. Anyways, in Skyfall, which came out in 2012, there's a scene in which James Bond meets the new Q, the new quartermaster, new tech guy, at the museum. And they talk about the Turner. And I've highlighted here, so there's James Bond, he's sitting in front of the fighting Tremere. And then there's another by Turner, which we didn't talk about in this class, but it's a good one. And the guy's gonna sit down and then they're gonna talk. I also like this screenshot because in the background, this, you guys know, this is by Joseph Wright of Derby. This is the bird in the air pump. Yeah. And then this one here is a work by Gainsborough. I know. This is at the National Gallery in London, and all of these paintings are on display in the National Gallery in London. So obviously when COVID's over, I want you to go to London and go to the National Gallery and take selfies with all of this stuff and send it to me. All right, I'm going to include the clip below. Enjoy.